And with that, we're recording, Mr. Stu.
Hey, Drew. Here we are with Drew and
Stu.
Hey, and we're MCCS. Is that backwards?
That was backwards, yeah.
Here we are with
Drew
and Stu. We might be the mirror image of each other.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
We're in the dark completely. You can't tell the difference with people anyway. But MCCS streamer.
We're in a different place today, actually.
We are in episode 10, which is a special episode, and we are live in Miss Glasscock's grade 6 classroom.
Yes, sir.
So excited to be here. So change in venue. And for the special 10th, we've trying to figure out what would be cool about our 10th episode, and this is just all coming together pretty well. So
it's been a while since we've actually last recorded. A week before the break, even.
Yeah, we had time before the break, and last time we were together, we had the whole team together.
Yeah,
shared out who the team was, which was really awesome to get everybody on board with that. So we've had quite a few visits to the site since then, so people are checking it out. Let's go back a bit, Drew. So one of the reasons we're here today is the kids in the class here are looking at podcasts and what's involved in it. And actually, the original idea came from you.
Did it? I've forgotten now.
100%. The video part with the sports was something I always wanted to do.
That was your thing,
But the podcast is your baby. I knew nothing about it. I pretended I did. See, you're still convinced. I had no idea about podcasts.
I think it was just an idea I threw at him. He's like, yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea, Drew.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, how are you going to do it? Because I don't know how to do it. So, because we already had a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that gives us the ability to publish our work to the world.
Yes, sir.
Because we can record all we want locally.
Yeah.
Which is still fun to use, but it doesn't reach out beyond
beyond us.
Yeah, beyond us
our
and our
computer
building.
And whoever we share it to.
Right. That was okay to start with, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's funny because when we first started, I think you were recording one of our sessions. Now, that's a great idea because before we were going live right away.
Yes.
So, right?
Yeah.
And then we had like glitches in our cameras and we're like,
yes.
It's not working. There's no audio. Is there audio? I don't know. Is there audio?
Yes, audio's always been our problem.
Yeah. And then you figured out the plan to do a pre-record.
Yeah.
Check our levels and go from there. Since then, we're pretty comfortable with setting up. We can set up everything we have in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
And our equipment ever since has gotten so much better, I believe.
Yeah, we'll do a little pan around to show the kids as well what we have for equipment. So what we have set up in front of us right now is what we'd have set up for a video production if we were doing like a football game or a basketball game or volleyball game or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This is how we'd have it set up, and we're not engaged in all those pieces right now because there's just Drew and I.
This is all we need. This is a very basic setup, but it works.
Yeah, it's our podcast. Right? We're just sharing information. We're not publishing an event. In our normal events, if you guys have seen them online, usually it's Drew and I that are commentating, so we're like a mini podcast during the event. So we're commentators, and then we'll have a team of up to maybe 4 other people that are doing other things while we're doing the podcast. So it's a team of 6 or 7 that runs when we're doing a full event. So it takes a lot of work to organize the whole event itself, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to, at MCCS, who we are is our slogan. And we really didn't have a slogan when we started our MCCS streamer.
Yeah.
And we had, like Drew and Stu just came out of nowhere because it just fit.
Yeah.
So our first two podcasts, we actually just call it Drew and Stu, don't we? First one.
Yeah, it was just Drew and Stu, and then we found out there was another Drew and Stu elsewhere.
Yeah, NBC affiliate or something has a Drew and Stu. So
I think it's for sports.
Yes, it is.
It's for sports.
Yes, the sports guys. So I was checking that out and found out that we were in trouble with the copyright and breach of copyright. So we didn't, which means you have to do some research to find out if you can actually use the names that are out there. So when we did MCCS streamer with
Drew and Stu,
then
it
we
becomes
our own piece, our own baby.
Yes, sir.
So that was a good piece. On that note, on our second football game,
I don't think
you weren't at that one,
yeah.
So he doesn't have any claim to fame for this. But we recorded the game and the warm-ups and all those pieces, and then our video got shut down because we were playing music that we didn't have copyright to use. So it was shut down, and we had to send out a letter. You get one warning, and then the second warning, you could potentially lose your channel.
Yeah, it's all about copyright,
or
ladies
money.
and gentlemen.
So what we do now with music is we go on to duty-free music, copyright-free music.
Just go on YouTube. You write in copyright-free music.
There's tons of it.
Normally, they should be copyright-free.
Yeah, and they have like everything, you can have quiet music, pumped up music.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So we have some stuff put away now that we use that's copyright music. So it adds another piece. If we were doing an event here, we have to be aware of those pieces. Even different items you might hold up or share, you got to be careful. Most sponsors are okay with you doing more sponsorship, but they're not okay if you're generating funds from that.
Yes,
and we don't
right.
generate funds. Our YouTube channel is not set up to
Not yet. No.
generate funds.
One day, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
maybe when we're infinitely wealthy and we can go back and do it over again.
When the budget gets bigger, yeah.
So Drew came up with MCCS Streamer, bringing who we are to you.
Yep, that's our slogan now, ladies and gentlemen. And we have another. What's our other slogan?
It's better than it was before.
Yes, sir. It's because it is. What did we have before?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And our first one was slightly better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's getting better now. So the way we monitor that is we try to keep track of our subscribers and our views.
Yep.
We're not into it's getting more and more. What we're finding is that when we have a podcast, a lot of people have it set to notifications. So when we release a new podcast, they'll get a notification on their devices that they have a new podcast. And we have a lot of the kids in the classes that are actually playing the podcast
So I've heard.
in
yes.
class when they become new or the next day and reviewing it. So we're getting more subscribers, more notifications, and more ideas on what we can do with our podcast.
Yes, sir.
Like we started, I don't know what the numbers are. I think we were pumped and we got 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said there's 6 of us in the group, so I'm hoping we get at least 6.
It's just
our
the 6
first
of us
session.
watching.
But it eventually became more and more people. Our furthest subscribers from Ireland, and our nearest is sitting to my right.
Yeah.
So it gives us great opportunities to reach out, and we want to share the information, what's happening in MCCS. That's one of the reasons we want to do it.
Right.
We wanted to tell people about our building and things that we're doing.
About our, what's the word? Kind of like genre?
Yeah,
I
our
guess you could say
educational genre, our coolness.
that. Yeah, our coolness. Definitely our coolness.
Go over the top of that. So usually what we do is then we have a plan to share some things that are happening around the school. So right now we're looking at, badminton has started already, and we have the seniors playing a home tournament here on the 29th. So next Saturday. Our juniors are already off to sectionals next Saturday.
Wow.
So that quick. And the reason it went so long is our basketball team did so darn good, and our curling team did so good that we just scooped right into the next season.
Yeah.
So now we're into track, badminton, and
baseball.
And what's happening today?
The boys are off somewhere. I don't
Boys
know where,
are
but
off
they're
to
off to
Swift
who knows
Current,
where.
I think. Or it's someplace. It's either Swift Current or someplace else. Medicine Hat's the same thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, Medicine Hat is very close to Swift Current if you compare it to us to Africa.
Yeah, probably.
Not much difference.
I've never been to Africa, so I can't say.
But have you been to Medicine Hat?
Yes,
And they both have A's in the name.
that's true.
So you've been halfway there.
I guess so.
The Swift Current doesn't have an A,
It doesn't.
and Africa does. I just realized that today, ladies and gentlemen.
But Swift Current has an R.
Oh, yeah.
In Africa.
Does Africa have an R?
Yeah,
How many?
1 R.
1 R. Swift Current has 1 R. Hey, interesting. Look at the things you learn here at Drew and Stu, our streamer, just full of education, falling out the sides like a muffin in the oven that's been cooking too long.
Yes, sir. So the next bit on our, what we call this, our schedule, is we have what is that, Stu?
Q&A. Question and answers from the team out here being us live in the grade 6 Miss
room,
Glasscock's
yeah.
grade 6 classroom here at MCCS. And we got a couple of questions that we're going to take from the audience.
So we've heard, yeah.
So let's see what we got coming to us. First question. Is Mr. Stewart really as cool as he thinks he is? Great question. I don't know, Drew, what do you think the answer is to
He
that?
is pretty darn cool,
Pretty darn
ladies and
cool, but
gentlemen.
not quite as cool as... Okay, let's go live. What do we got?
Your questions?
Yes, what's your question?
Right now, is Drew just missing a whole bunch of classes?
I have a
No.
spare. Well,
Drew has a spare.
I have an online class. but
Right.
That's
And you know, that's a big piece. When I call the team down to do work, we're not pulling them out of class. Normally, the only time we will is like a team. So
Yeah.
like a football team has to leave early, baseball team has to leave early today. The members of the team, we'd reach out to the teacher, say, I need the team,
Yeah.
and they're gone at this time.
And last semester, too, I had spares for both periods last.
Yeah, we
so.
scheduled our podcast around
Yep.
Drew spares. Yes, lead the back.
Is the name ever going to change?
Is the name ever going to change? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Well, the Drew and Stu is going to have to change.
At some point after I leave.
But it might say formally.
If you let me leave, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always say to Drew that I'm never going to let him leave because I enter the marks anyway, so he's not going anywhere. But hey, Drew's headed off to U of S next year, so he's been accepted.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So the name will evolve. MCCS Streamer will always be there. The rest, we'll see how that evolves. Yes.
What happens if one of you guys get injured online?
If we get injured
We haven't had
online,
that happen
if
yet,
one of
but-
us got injured during the podcast, our ratings would go way up, way up. We
Yeah,
get like
so true.
thousands of hits.
Thousands, yeah.
More than 3,500, whatever our number is.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
highest.
know. Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm hoping that it won't happen
you're
soon.
You're what? You're hoping.
I'll just put this pencil down. There we go. Okay, next question.
Like, when you finish your podcast, what do you do with the equipment?
That is a fantastic question. And do you want to talk about what we do with our video first, Drew?
Yeah, first with our video, all our video is unedited. Okay, it's all raw, unedited footage, and I just post it straight on YouTube.
Right. So we'll save it on our computer.
Yep.
And then, Drew, we have a YouTube channel. That's our way to send it out. We upload it to the channel, and it becomes live.
Yeah.
And the equipment we pack, we'll show you guys later what we do with our equipment and what it all does. Yes.
How do you know what equipment to use?
That is a fantastic question because when we started,
We had no idea.
zero idea. We knew we wanted to do it. We really had no idea. Really,
Yeah,
nothing.
nothing.
We reached out to Matt, who's one of our IT guys for the division. He used to work for CBC in the production team, so this is a guy who did this for a living.
Very helpful. He taught us everything we needed to know.
Yeah, and we just, whenever we had to reach out, we could reach out to him and get answers. And without him, honest truth, I don't think he would have got it off the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Back to that question, just having the experience with the equipment, knowing what each piece of equipment does, will eventually help you to know what pieces you need to use.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and what we add on, what we need, what we don't need.
Yeah.
And we're going back.
This camera is whole new. This ring light is all new.
Yeah, the camera we have is actually the same camera they use in the E-Games national finals and stuff, like World Finals. Same camera. So when you see teams playing each other, they're using that same camera. Same one, exactly. Question, yep.
Do you guys use drones? To video?
We've wanted to.
The question is, do we use drones? We have a drone. I believe that we can get it to work because I think I know how we can get it to work live.
Yeah,
Right.
It's all experimentation.
The problem is the proximity to the airport. We can't fly drones within a certain distance from the airport. So we originally had wanted to do the drone for a football game.
Yeah.
And have it fly over
was-
and do that kind of piece like they do. But we're going to work on something. We're hoping to have probably our first drone flight will be in the gym for an event. But we are definitely working on it. We have the drone. We have the technology.
The technology.
Just have to try it out. Any other questions?
Yeah, over there, in the black.
Who do you want on the podcast the most?
We want people that are more ahead in charge of something. We had our SOC president on the podcast. What was it? 2 episodes ago?
I think it was 2 episodes.
2 or 3 episodes ago. We've also wanted to get certain captains for certain teams onto the podcast before, but it just didn't line up for us. So to answer the question, really anyone could, but what we look for is people who are in charge of something in the school.
Yeah, we want to promote what's going on in the
Yeah.
building. So if there was a special event coming up or someone had something that
They knew a lot about.
we'd want them to be on that podcast to share that information. We want to give people out of the school the opportunity to be part of what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
Question, yeah.
When something goes wrong, do you have to restart the live stream?
Whoa, okay.
You won't believe how many times stuff has gone wrong.
At least 3.
Yeah, but yes, pretty much if something does go wrong, we most likely will have to restart the stream.
Yeah.
There was one incident where someone knocked over our whole
Our
switchboard.
It's like the brain and the heart.
It connects everything together, and they knocked it over and knocked out its power. So yeah, we had to restart the stream that day.
The other point is, as you do this more, you gain this experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you got people that are watching the stream and it could be a really important part in the game or whatever, and they want to know what's going on. You know, it's like when your internet kind of pauses and you can't go when the same thing happens.
Yeah.
They get this locked screen and nothing's happening. So then right away we're booting around trying to figure out what happened.
Oh yeah.
So now we got to look at all these pieces. So Drew's usually checking the switch, which
Or a software.
software, because he's kind of our specialist on that. We check. There's one connection that comes into this from an internet connection. Everything is based off that one connection.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we check. And if that's working, then we go backwards and find out which cord isn't working, which device isn't working, and it can take.
I remember those. Yeah.
When we first started, I remember Jude fixed one of the cameras that had frozen up, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah, I remember that.
I go,
vaguely.
I don't know what we're going to do. It's not working. Like, we're stuck. We're doing a live event, and we can't get anything out. And
I grabbed my hammer and just started tapping it, and it worked.
And then we hit it really hard. No, the whole you just know what's going on, because if the laptop's working, we know that it's getting the feed.
Yeah.
And you can tell by different lights and stuff now what is working. Before, we didn't know that. Right now, we can probably fix any issue within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
anything that happens right now. If we have to reboot our computer, that's what takes the longest. Yeah, we've had it happen. It will happen. For sure.
One day it will, most
Yeah,
likely.
push it back. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about streaming?
What's our favorite thing about streaming?
I love the commentating, personally.
Same thing. Drew and I we really love it. Again, that's another idea for commentating. It's Drew's idea.
Yeah, man.
I didn't think...
that was my dream. As soon as
Yeah.
he mentioned the streamer team, I thought, commentary.
Yeah.
I want to do commentary.
I didn't know if we'd be able to do it. I didn't know.
I knew we would. If we just kept going at it, I knew we'd be able to. But it did take until the basketball season.
Yeah, because we're not even half set up here. When we're doing a live event, we have a whole other audio board that has all the mics and stuff plugged into the audio board. That's a whole different piece. And then you'll have like one person controlling.
There's actually two people running the actual
two
computer.
running the computer at the same time, and then you have people running the cameras. It's a real team effort, which means we always need people.
Two people on the computer, two cameramen, and then the two commentators.
Two commentators, or more if we have them. Yep.
What if you're commentating on like a live game and something goes wrong?
Oh, that's happened multiple times.
We just tell the team to stop playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happens. No. If you go back in our streams, you'll hear me say we're having difficulties.
Yeah,
Let me go help
yeah.
here.
And someone will leave the screen or something.
Yeah.
And you'll hear like, well, try doing this, because we forget we're still on mics.
Yeah.
Our camera people are all on headsets, and we
They're
talk
on
to each other
headsets,
through
yeah.
headsets. So we would say, hey, look at the corner there, get a good shot of that, and we're talking to each other as a team, as camera people. Yep.
How do you find places to record?
We actually are limited to the internet connection.
Yeah.
We were streaming trying to stream a live hockey game for Sandy Cooper.
Yeah, that Sandy Cooper
From
game.
the arena. We had everything kind of functionally working, but we went to publish it. The internet wouldn't support it.
Yeah.
So we can
I
go
wasn't here for
anywhere.
that.
Yeah, we can go anywhere if we have good enough connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like absolutely anywhere. Yep.
How do you come up with topics for your podcast?
We put ideas into a hat and we draw them all out.
By alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And height. We wait for teachers to come ask us if we'll come to the room to do a live podcast in their classroom. Yeah.
Mrs. Glasscock is the first one.
Yeah, so we do have people that come and ask us to be on. We ask them, like, what's the plan, what's the idea? And sometimes we can get them on, sometimes we can't.
Yeah, but normally for ideas, whatever's going on in the school is
Yeah.
our main topic.
Right.
And then whatever random ideas Stu comes up with.
Yeah, on the spot. It's like right now, of course, we got all like the baseball and badminton and track happening, so that's kind of where our stuff will come out of. Next podcast will probably be more centered on our symposium that's happening and updating some of the events. So it's based on the school year.
I think that's all the kids have. I heard Miss Glasscock had some questions for us.
I
Oh.
have some questions from the other class.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever get stage fright?
Never.
Never.
Really?
I just
Nope.
don't care.
I'm the
I
same.
just don't care.
We've never really been worried about being in front of the camera.
Yeah, no. In front of live people, I get scared. But on a live camera, I'm not scared. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It's
me
just
neither. I'm
different.
good.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good piece for people that do have that. Maybe podcasts would be a good way for them to get over that kind of
begin getting
anxiety
over it,
or
yeah.
fear. Yeah.
Well, okay. Will there still be a podcast when Drew graduates?
For a while.
Unfortunately, the question is yes, but will it be as good?
should be, yeah.
We're hoping. That's the piece. Like even
I'll still be around till December.
yeah. So
But after that, I'm gone.
yeah, and we were looking at actually with the software we have, you can actually bring in guests from anywhere you can live stream in guests like a picture-in-picture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like literally, it wouldn't matter if Drew was here or in Medicine
Vermont.
Hat or Vermont. We could bring him in. We're not quite there yet, though. Yep.
For other students who want to get involved with Streamer, how do they do that?
So the question was, for other students that want to get involved, how do they do that? And the answer is talk to this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come see me anytime and you want to see the stuff and just have a look at it, answer any questions, and how you can be involved. There's everything from people that are on camera to camera people to the technicians to set up, sound technicians, just every position that we need on the team.
Yeah.
And then we had lots of questions about the equipment and the cost of the equipment. I don't know if you guys.
I don't know about cost.
We're going
That's
to pan
the
across
thing.
equipment after we do, what we got, how much time are we into now? Like
We're at
4.5
20
hours?
minutes.
Okay,
That's
we
our
try not to, we
longest
usually stay
episode.
about 15 minutes, but I'll take 2 more questions and we do pan around the equipment. Yep. Who's going to start? Lauren?
Like, if your podcast wasn't about the school, what would it be about?
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because it's always just been about the school.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I do not have an answer for that.
Maybe it'd be about the Maple Creek events.
Yeah,
Or what's
well,
happening around
Around
here.
Maple Creek? Yeah, that'd be like what's happening on Maple Creek would be cool.
Yeah.
But what would it be called? What's happening on Maple Creek with Drew and Stu? It doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off as much, but that's what the podcast might be about.
Maybe.
That's a question I've never had asked
Oh,
myself.
I know what. I got it. Mine's going to be about prime numbers.
Mine will be about even numbers.
See, there we go. That's the next 2 episodes. Prime numbers, even numbers. Are there any prime numbers or even numbers?
2.
Oh, look at you. There's only 1, isn't there? Just 2?
2. No. the
Oh, yeah, you
number-
said 2. Oh, okay. He said 2, and I'm thinking, what are you talking about 2? It's only 1. It's 2. 2?
Yeah.
2, okay. One more question.
If by any chance you can't contact Drew for the podcast, who would step up and take his place?
I don't have an answer for that right now.
Yeah. No. The one time I couldn't make it, he just did it by himself.
Yeah, and that was really boring. I was like talking to myself, waiting for myself to answer.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun. We do have some people that have stepped in for commentary. So maybe I would consider dropping them in for some podcasts.
Yeah, maybe.
Might be a good place to start. So something we have to start thinking about for sure.
All right. Well,
'Kay.
I'll run the camera.
Okay,
You go
I'm going to
teach
explain
the
some of the
kids
stuff about
the stuff
the
here.
equipment. So what we start with is this is for on your podcast, right? Without doing edits. Having said that, there is software you can get to edit. You really don't want to spend a lot of time editing because it takes about
It
3
takes
to 4
forever.
Yeah, about 4 to 5 times more time to edit than it does to actually record.
Yeah.
Editing is a ton of work, so you want to try to do that.
I
So
have personal experience with it.
Yeah,
If you can do raw footage, go with that. 'Cause
Yeah.
editing takes absolute years.
having said that, if you have great video and one edit that's worth it,
Yeah.
sometimes it's worth it. All right, so let's go with this piece. So what we first started with was just a camera.
2 cameras. PTZ
So-
in that one.
So yeah, so these 2 cameras, our digital cameras allow us to record through the system. The camera can use it by the viewfinder or through the eyepiece, depending on the glare and amount of battery it wants to use. These run on battery and plug-in. So a camera like this is worth about $1,800. Once you get all your accessories for it.
We have a big budget.
Yeah. This PTZ camera is really cool, and we haven't used it to our ability yet.
It hasn't worked
It hasn't
perfectly.
yeah.
It worked fine during the football games, but then getting into basketball, we noticed one of them had issues.
Yeah.
We sent that one off. Now this one's been having issues too. So we just haven't used the PTZ.
So-
and it's finicky to use because we had a controller,
Yeah.
an Xbox controller,
Yeah, so
to control it, which just stopped working.
A
on us,
PTZ camera is a point tilt zoom camera. So this camera literally can be sitting anywhere that's connected to a network. So I could have this connected to my office, and I could control it from anywhere in the world. So
As long as you're connected.
Right, as long as we're connected to network. So our thought was that we were going to set the PTZ camera up for the football games, like if it was really cold or rainy or something, then we could do the broadcast from inside my office, and we could just have the camera through a partial umbrella cover, and it could just film the game. We wouldn't get cold. So that was one of the pieces. The other reason we came up to it was because at the beginning, we thought it was just going to be us two and maybe 3 people. So you really couldn't have someone working this camera, but if they're on the computer, they could work the camera from the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So one person could work multiple cameras. That was the point of a PTZ camera. These ones are only about $600 or $700. Only about.
And the main,
And then little things like this, like that you need to connect. These little tiny boxes, you can't do anything without this.
maybe pass it around the classroom.
Yeah, they're about $200, and you can't do anything without those.
It converts. The way our whole
Yeah.
thing runs is off of what's called NDI, which is the network, and that box just converts from HDMI, which your regular TV has,
Yeah,
into
so you don't
NDI.
have to. You run one network cable, gives you power and video and everything.
Yep.
So, and then, so when we come out, we have these 2 cases that are here
3.
with our cameras and connectors. They're all placed in here. We know where they're supposed to be. So when we go to shoot an event, we just get the boxes
Pull, plug, and play.
we carry them out and we go to location.
Yep.
So
Very easy.
our most important part is our laptop is protected by 2 layers of foam in this case. It is the most important thing. You can get away with, you have to have a good laptop in order to do this.
Yeah, but this one even has its struggles. It gets pretty darn hot during a long stream.
Because if you're running 4 cameras and audio and running 3 or 4 screens, it
it just wants to blow up.
wants this stuff. So here's the other fun stuff.
At
So
a whole football field worth of cords.
you got to get from the commentator's room down to the field to film a game.
Easy.
Our cameras are not wireless, and wireless isn't always dependable.
And you want to know something? We didn't always have that roller.
Oh,
We always had to do it by hand. It was annoying. Took
and you
forever.
can't. Anybody who wraps ropes, you can't just wrap around your hand. You have to twist them and roll them. So you have to do that with 150 feet of cable, and it's
Takes
painful.
Forever. Yes.
so the real piece is if you just have something like this and roll it, it never twists.
I remember the first time I used it. I'm like, oh,
This is
so
the greatest
easy.
thing on
Yeah.
earth. All I want to do now is get a little handle so we can connect
Yeah.
it. And then in this other grab bag, I'll just kind of put it up here if I can. This has all of our extra stuff in it. So if we have a cable that's not working,
Replace
we
it.
can replace it.
I
If
see.
we need
I
a
see a microphone
power
in there.
cord, we have an extra microphone if our mic's not working. We have extra power here, we have a stand for the microphone. We have tape if we have to secure things together so that it all stays together. And here's our controller for our PTZ.
Which doesn't work.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's just not consistent. We'll get it working and we're still struggling with it. But it basically just works like you're moving around a joystick. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
We're gonna get the whole class in a whole.
Yeah, you guys want to get into a quick picture?
in the front there somewhere?
Yeah, just right up here.
Going to the library.
And then we'll kick out the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep moving to the right. You can go all the way to where the flags are.
And even a bit more. I'll just move it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Everybody in? Is class clock in there?
Sure, are you in here?
Yeah. Right, so we'll kick out. So that was episode 10, a huge episode, live from Miss Glasscock's grade 6 classroom, and that's MCCS streamer with
Drew,
and Stu.
bringing who we are to you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.